Welcome back to the channel, OGB in. Today I'm going to showcase the Retribution Paladin 6-piece tier set bonus rotation for fast weapons. But before I show you the rotation that I'm doing, first we need to take a look at the simulator. Okay, so here we are at the RET sim, double checking my gear set, phase 4 RET Exodin 6-piece. Double checking my rotation, phase 4 RET 6-piece, and making sure everything's enabled. Looks like we're all good. Let's go ahead and give it a sim. $38.87, basically $38.88. Okay, so now let's try messing with some stuff. Let's go back over to rotation, and first thing let's do is let's just disable Divine Storm. So we're about 1 DPS higher without Divine Storm, which means we're going to be running Hallowed Ground with the fast weapon build. The next thing I'm going to move around is I'm going to change the prio on Judgment. So I'm going to disable the conditional on the sim that forces it to judge whenever there's 1.5 seconds or less remaining on Seal of Martyrdom, and I'm just going to move Judgment down below Crusader Strike in the priority list. So what does all this mean? Well, we're seeing a 10 DPS difference between judging and not judging, essentially. And we also turned off Divine Storm, so we're running Hallowed Ground now. What this means is that since Judgment is down below Crusader Strike in your priority list, is that as long as you are getting good RNG, so to say, and scoring enough crits to where your Exorcism is not on cooldown, you will effectively never cast Judgment. So the only time when you would really want to cast it and when you would be losing DPS from not casting Judgment is going to be in those areas where you're kind of in a crit drought. And not to mention that Judgment in the 6-piece rotation, it just kind of clutters it up and it doesn't really feel right. It kind of adds extra short timers to track that really disrupt the flow of your button presses. Okay, so I'm going to change one final thing on the sim. I'm actually going to go in and I am going to set it so that it's not resealing immediately at 1.5 seconds remaining on each seal. I'm going to reduce that value to 1 second. The reason for that is that you do not need to have 100% seal uptime. What you need to have is 100% seal uptime when your hits land. So if not resealing immediately only results in seal downtime that is mid-swing, you can ignore that. Outside of situations where you have a lot of haste buffs like the Battle Chicken Squawk along with Warchief's Blessing, you should always be able to fit an Exorcism at the beginning of your melee and then still get a reseal off before the melee lands. It's once you have a Battle Squawk that this starts to get a little bit funky. So if you have those extra haste buffs, you should probably consider maintaining your seal stack at all times over pressing an exo at the very start of a melee. So now that we've got all that out of the way, here we are looking at the rotation. And it's actually much more simple than most people are claiming after they first get their 6-piece. But we had to do quite a bit of messing with the sim to figure out what's actually the best way for a human being to play it. So what I do is I very simply maintain my seal stack and I press Exorcism. And if I don't have an Exorcism proc, I press Crusader Strike. It's a very, very simple prio system. Seal stack number 1, press Exo number 2. And personally, I just never cast Judgment, because if I'm in a situation where I need to press Judgment, it's so low on my priority list that it already means I'm not getting the RNG to do maximum DPS like I want to. So it's kind of a wash. If you've been trying to figure out your 6-piece rotation, then I hope this helps you out. And if you've got a rotation that works better or has a better flow than this, let me know in the comments. OGB out.